places you will have martial arts schools. So, front and back.
So we just did a drill, right?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of that drill?
Okay, the first most important aspect of I would say any movement. I'm not an expert in dance, but I think it will be relevant in dance also, more so in martial arts. The whole thing is boils down to the flexibility of the hip. If the hip is flexible and you're able to control it, you can generate a tremendous amount of power. And the whole point of martial art is that when you generate the power, you should not lose balance when the power gets delivered. That is why in Tai Chi we do the alignment very, very carefully so that it sits at the back of your mind. And when you deliver the power, you should not fall. Because tendency is that what happens is you deliver the power, but you tend to run away with that if you don't work on your alignment. But when you generate the power, say, you should not move, get swayed by the power. The power has to be delivered through your bones to the other side. That's the point.
Okay.
But before you do forms, hips have to be flexible, and you can build flexibility regardless of age. This is if you lose flexibility, you can get it back. But you have to put in the work ethic. It is hard work, and there's no special magic. You have to come and sweat. That's the point of the drill, actually.
Okay. Now, how does one know the hip is weak or not participating in the forms, the Tai Chi?
Okay. Forms, people cheat in forms. They do some slow movement and get away with it. But when you actually come to fudging, push hands, applications becomes very clear. So you need to be able to control, release, depends. So if this does not happen like a snap, it'll be the reason is the hip. It has to snap. And if the snap is not happening, it means there's some rust somewhere, and you'll have to lubricate the joint. So it becomes very clear what needs to be done. At least for an authentic Tai Chi practitioner, it becomes very clear where one has to attend to it. So that's how you know. You know by doing, seeing yourself, going over, and then working on it. That's the only way.
So how many repetitions of the drill one has to do, and how many times, say, in a week to get that hip power and stability?
Most important is that you have to take it to the threshold of pain every time. So there is no fixed count. So in the sense, it may even happen that the pain I'm referring to is the feeling that the hip is giving way. But even before that pain comes, what happens is the stamina comes in the way. Your breathing is not right. And when you don't breathe properly, you can't get the maximum out of the body. So your breathing has to be also very well not like regulated. It has to be smooth by natural, in the natural flow. Then you will be able to work more when the breathing is right. So what happens initially, you will be out of breath. So even before you hit the pain threshold on the hip, you will reach out of breath. The only way to address it is take it to the point where you lose your breath. It may be in 5 repetitions you lose your breath. That is okay. You have to push the rock till that threshold. And then with time, believe me, if you're consistent, you will start pushing that threshold further up. The next threshold you will meet is your hip itself. And then you'll have to take it to the point where you can't take it anymore. It is like it's a very bitter medicine. So this is a very famous saying, like in Tai Chi martial arts, like in at least also in Kung Fu, the bitter medicine. That is the bitter medicine. The hip will go limp, but beyond the point, you will even cross the threshold, and you can push it off. The hips will become very, very flexible, and then sky's the limit. Depends upon what you are. If you are a professional, you can take it all the way. If you're an amateur, it will give you good health. So it doesn't matter, it's worth it.
Okay, then that leads us to the next question. Are there drills for breathing? Do you think we should do something like a pranayama or any specific exercise to build up the breathing?
So as far as the yoga order is concerned, pranayama comes in the end. So basically pranayama on its own is useless unless you have the asana and unless you have the yama niyama. I mean, even your right conduct is important for the yoga. So Yoga Sutra Patanjali says it starts with the yama niyama, and yama niyama deals with how you conduct yourself in daily life. So if you have to have your breathing correct, first thing is be honest and don't lie. That's the first requirement. If you don't lie, automatically your breathing will start clearing. Then you do the asanas, then you'll go more deeper with the ability for you to breathe. And then of course, you have to know if you have pushed the rock up the mountain, if you leave it there, it will roll and then will destroy everything on its way. So even when you take the body to the heightened state, you have to know how to safely bring it down. So that's where pranayama comes in. So I'm not saying anything derogatory about pranayama, but pranayama needs a preparation, and there is an entire thing that comes before pranayama. But the problem is people do pranayama and nothing else. That's problematic. So when you rest, even that is important. So hopefully the only way you can regulate your breathing is, first thing you conduct, you don't lie. The second thing is, don't be in a hurry. And automatically your breathing will correct itself. The whole thing is that you are not going to do anything, you're just going to create the right condition for the body to modify itself.
Understood.